Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to color your graffiti name project. Now again, you can be doing this in fresh paint as you see me doing it. You are also welcome to do this on real paper with whatever media you have at home. If you are doing it on real paper, just know that you should be using color, whether it's colored pencil, marker, paint, oil pastel, whatever you have at home is fine. But the main thing that I want you to be doing here is looking at those images of graffiti that we found earlier on in the project. So I'm going to pull mine up here, and I'm going to put them side by side. All right, so I've got 4 pictures here that I used, and I'm not necessarily going to use all of them for my coloring, but I want to take a look at them and see what I like about each one and see what I might want to incorporate into my own. I might be changing the colors, I might be kind of combining 2 or more, or I might just really love one and want to stick with it. So one thing I really like is this one. I was really, you can see I used the crown there, and I like the kind of shadowed effect with the glints of light. And I also, I like how this one has these kind of like bubbles and arrows and points. So I'm going to try and kind of combine those 2 concepts here. And I like that pink color, so I'm gonna grab a pink. And I'm gonna stick with the pastel here in fresh paint, mostly because I like the texture. So I'm gonna grab this pink, but I kind of wanna make it a little bit bluer and maybe a touch lighter. Okay. So something to notice in all of these pictures, right, is that no one letter is entirely one color, which is what most students would think of to do first, like color this letter all one color, maybe change the color for the next letter. But if you actually look at the graffiti, right, one letter is almost never one solid color. And usually all of the letters have kind of the same coloration, right? So it doesn't change from letter to letter, but it changes within the letter. So I want you to try to incorporate that into your piece, right? So I'm kind of going for this kind of half a darker color and half a lighter color, and then I'll add some highlights at the end. And again, if you're using the digital program, I really recommend that you use your finger on the touch screen, which is what I'm doing. All right, and I'm going to also try and incorporate some of the ideas from this one. I like these kind of bubbles and stripes. Makes it a little bit more interesting. So maybe up here I'll do kind of the diagonal stripes. And maybe down here I'll get some of those bubbles in. And I'm going to do one more letter here. Right, so I'm applying the same technique to all my letters. And I think I'm just going to keep it that way, like the diagonal stripes on top and bubbles on the bottom. Actually, I'm gonna maybe make my brush a little bit smaller for that one. That's better. All right, So now I'm going to go back in with a lighter color. And again, if I were doing this whole thing, I would just go through all the letters and grab a lighter pink. And I kind of like the way these colors are blending, but if your colors are blending in a way that doesn't work for you, don't forget you've always got that this fan tool here at the bottom. And actually, I think it would have been a better idea to do the bubbles on top, right? And similarly, and this is something I often forget, is, you know, with this program, it is a really good idea to do your background first. So if you have some cool ideas for the background, it might be a good idea to do that first. All right, that's looking pretty good. So now I'm also going to think about the 3D part here, right? So it should be a different color. There should be an outline dividing it. And a good idea would be, you know, a darker color or a more purple or bluish color can kind of make it feel further away. And, you know, also if you take a look here at these examples, right, it's not always just one solid color, right? In this example it is. In this example, whoops, it's striped. And in this example, there are kind of shadows and highlights. So I'm going to grab this color. And I'm going to maybe go for the striped idea. Right, and when I start, you know, I don't worry too much about my edges. I'm trying to be as careful as I can, but I'm going to go back and outline everything, and that will do a lot to kind of clean up your edges. Okay, I'm also going to reduce my size here. Get my edges a little bit tidier. All right, now I'm gonna go back let me use the pen, make it a little bit bigger. And what should I do for the outline? Maybe do this bright blue, kind of like that. Dry it with the fan. All right, when it comes to graffiti, outlining is your friend. It's gonna make all your edges look better. And Graffiti often has multiple outlines, right? Like this one has 1, 2, 3, 4 outlines. So if your first outline, doesn't cover up all of your kind of uneven mess ups, throw in another outline. Why not? So naturally, I am not going to make you watch me color in this whole picture, but I do want to remind you to not forget about your background, to not forget about adding some interesting details, right? So again, in these examples, we've got lightning, we've got bubbles, we've got this like breaking through the wall. Paint drips are common. This one's kind of a cloud-like thing. Got some kind of, zigzaggy lines. So there are lots of interesting ways to jazz up your drawing. That's a pretty good start, but I do want to, all right, so for those highlights, I'm gonna grab a pure white. I'm gonna put it on my oil pastel there, make sure I'm dried. And, right, so they are all in the top right corner of every. So I'm going to add that bit of a highlight. All right. I hope you enjoyed this project. That's a wrap. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to, when you're finished, upload it to your PowerPoint so I can grade it.